Hello. Welcome everyone. It is Friday and we're back with some game dev. I don't know what my voice sounds weird today. I don't know what it is. Something doesn't sound right. Anyway, we're gonna continue today with some more GMTK Game Jam. Last time I streamed this, I did oh, what the heck, the image changed? Wait, what the heck is this? This looks so nice. What is it? They got winter, they got autumn, they got other. This is a nice mixture of various qualities. Where is this? South America. It's in Argentina? Wow. Oh, it's glaciers, I see. Anyway, welcome Stream Elements, welcome Panis, welcome Stanley, Deffins, Namington, Guacamigo. Ciel, thank you for the 22 months. And welcome Delicious Smile. That's everyone. Why do hot dogs come in packs of 10/12? There's many people have talked about this before. There's a lot of discussion. This happened many times. Anyway, this is today's image. Right here, this is me of some kind. I don't know. The theme is not poop, it is loop. It is specifically loop. Now, last time I streamed this game, sorry, not this game, game dev, I started this project in Godot, and as you can tell from the title of the stream is that I've gone with a different direction. So this is the game I had last time. We had like a portal where if you hit the left side, you loop around to the other side. Like that kind of works, but I feel like it was a bit uninspired. I feel like I was kind of just copying the other game called Looper, which was also a platformer that had a pretty much identical mechanic, except in this one you get to move the character, in this one the character moves on their own. But I was like, you know what, that's stupid. I'm not a fan of just, you know, it's basically the same thing, but worse. So instead, yesterday I had the idea to make this into a block pushing game instead. I know everyone loves block pushing games, and this is one of them. I'm going to show you. You're going to be like, whoa, that's actually so cool. You're going to be like, I can't believe I didn't think about this. Here's the game. You are a rat in a dungeon, and you have multiple colors. Look, you got multicolored rat. Notice this. This is we got some looping mechanics here. You can, if you move into the loop, you will loop around. You loop around, but only on the same color as you are. So if you are blue, you only loop in the blue region. If you are red, you loop in the red region. Look at that, isn't that cool? And then look, you can't go this way because there is a wall. There is a wall in the way, so you cannot loop around that side. But you know, if you change to blue, you can now leave the loop. If you enter the loop, you can only be in that loop. Okay, so I determined this. I think this is kind of a cool idea. I've not really seen another game that does something like this. You know, it copies from many things. Obviously, the square in the middle, the rectangle, is based on Looper. And then the graphics themselves. There was this game called Pork-like, which is a roguelike game. And this guy made a tutorial on how to make this in pico-8. And so you'll notice a lot of this is quite similar. There's like a dungeon. This is based on like the early tutorials that he did. Okay, if you look at Pork-like tutorial, this is like Baba is you. What the heck are these images? Which one? Pork-like tutorial, lazy devs. This guy, is it this guy? This guy here. This one. You'll notice that the walls look exactly like the ones from Pork-like. That is no coincidence. I was simply following his tutorial on how to get movement to work nicely. You'll see here, a lot of the systems are very similar. You'll notice In this one, they got some things, you know, you got some drawings, various things out there. And then he starts walking around. Where does he actually start walking around? I would like to see him start walking around. Look, he's walking around. We got very similar bumping mechanics. When you bump into a wall, he does like a walking animation, right? It's literally the same thing. You're telling me Wolfie copied from 2 games? That's right. Instead of copying from 1 game, I've copied from 2 games, which makes this a bit more unique, right? If I just copy 1 game, it'd be like, oh, obviously, this is literally the same game. But now it's like, oh, now it's 2 games. Whoa, that's crazy. Making games where you can bounce off walls? Exactly. Look, this one, you know, it's so simple. Anyway, so I think this could be a promising idea for a game. I've not added any, like, pushable objects. I've not really added, like, an end condition to the level, you know. At the moment we have these here, these stairs, but you don't actually progress to the next level. Pushable mushroom, no, they're gonna be crates. And I believe at the moment I have it so that you can change colors by pressing Z or Z, if you will. I don't know if I want to keep that or make it so that you collect items. And then, like, maybe when you eat a red cheese, you become red. If you eat a blue cheese, oh, that's a real thing. Blue cheese, that's real. If you eat a blue cheese, you become blue. So then that limits, you know, that limits the scope of things. I don't know. Still to be determined. But look, isn't this so cool? Doesn't this look so nice? It's got no sound effects, but I will add those in the future at some point. And you might be like, Wolfie, how did you do this? Whoa, it looks so cool. How do you do this? I will show you specifically. Let's see, we're gonna go into the GMTK folder. We got several things loaded up right here. Okay, so we got the main file, right? A lot of these things are wrong. Cannot assign to Boolean. What are they talking about? Boolean. They had a typo. Boolean. And then you got player update, right? This is updating 60 frames per second. Okay, and so we have loops. Loops are the circles you see here. Now, if I add another loop, you could define custom colors. So look at this. We got colors here. If I wanted to make a loop that was, for example, green, I would just set it to color 11. And this right here, this is going to be the position. This is going to be like 1, 9. And then this is the width and height. So this is going to be maybe like 10, or maybe 1, I don't know. 10 and 9, right? Now, if we run the game again, we will see now there is a green loop, but it doesn't affect us because we're not green, right? It's quite simple. So we have a lot of globals. You might be like, in programming, you don't really want globals, right? That's not really a thing. But in such a limited project, I feel like it's fine, probably. You have like 1 player, so there's like a player global somewhere. Welcome Rico lives. And then we have the player. The player, okay, first of all, we go into actor. An actor is something that moves around, perhaps, right? So we have a palette. You change, oh, you might even notice, you're like, how does the rat change colors? Good question. You'll note here that the rat is drawn in gray, right? But then when we draw the actual rat, we have a color attribute. By default, the color is gray, but then you set the color to be something else. It'll set the pico-8 palette to be this. Making my game in pico-8 too. Are you also participating in the Game Jam? The GMTK Game Jam? And then, okay, when we're drawing the actor, you'll also notice that when we're in the loop, it kind of clips, you know, it clips out. If I exclude this thing right here, if I comment all of this out, you'll notice that we actually start from the left side, right? It actually goes past, because we start beyond the loop and then we move into it. And then if you have the clip in here, then it clips the boundaries to the bounds of the loop. So this is the thing in pico-8, where if you set a clip, anything drawn after the clip is set will only be drawn in that shape. And so here we set it so that if you're in a loop, then you do this. Then you draw the frame, right? You have flipping, you got scales and all that. And then you set the palette back to the default. You're making a puzzle game about programming. I think that's cool. Programming games, I appreciate those. And then here's a function to return a new actor. Welcome Last Tabaka. And also welcome Props Not Jack. And then we have input handling. This is quite simple. You just get the latest input. You're not allowed to press multiple buttons at once. There's only one button can be pressed, which makes sense for a turn-based game like this. Alright, then you have a loop. Alright, these loops that are available. You specify the X and Y and the width. And then you'll notice this fill pattern here. This fill pattern is what actually does the dotted line thing that you see here. If I didn't have this, it would just be stationary. And now, if you excluded the fill, it'll be a solid line, which works fine, but it's nice for there to be some variation. And this fill specifically is a pattern in pico-8, where you'll notice what happens here is that you're defining a 4x4 texture. The 1 is where there should be a fill, and 0 should be when there's no fill. And so it starts off with this pattern, checkerboard, like this. And then the next one is actually, it's the inverse, right? It's the inverse of this one. And so that's what causes the checkerboard pattern. It's right there. Yes, those values. Sure, probably. What's my game about? It's about you're a rat and you're looping. You're going out here looping. There's going to be blocks to push. I don't know yet. And then you draw the rectangle, and then you set the color back. And then there's some function to check whether you're currently in a loop. This will determine whether you are able to loop around. If you're not able to loop, then whatever, right? Okay, and then you got the player. The player itself, you can create a new player. There's a function to try to move the player. This is the logic that handles when you're in a loop and you're trying to leave the loop. It'll set your position to the other side of the loop. Right, so there's a bunch of stuff. You set the recent loop here and all that. And then there's some stuff to test whether you're allowed to move. You'll notice here, this thing checks your current tile that you're on. This thing checks whether the thing has the flag of collidable. Now this is specifically, it's set in the sprite editor here. This thing has, the flag 0 is set. If I unset this, you can now walk through walls. And then this will also allow you to move from red into the wall. But you know, you just unset that, right? And then now you cannot walk through walls. That's basically what this thing is here. And then this one tests that if the position you're going to is a wall, we have different movement animations. This was copied from the pork-like tutorial, is if you're bumping into a wall, we have a different pointer called move bump. This thing, move walk and move bump are the two move types. We have two animations. Move will just take your current position and then set your target position and then interpolate between them. Whereas move bump, we have an update progress variable that gets updated every frame. And then this says, if you're halfway into the progress, then you set your molt, right? This is Balatro reference, molt here. You set your molt. So you set the offset based on how far you are into the update. You set this to 1 at the end. Once it's 1, then player control resumes. Welcome, lots of butts. Right, and then we have update await input. This one, this is for input buffering. Now this one was also copied from the tutorial. If you press multiple buttons while the player is currently moving, it'll queue up your input. So you can press up twice and it'll move up twice. Otherwise you would have to wait for the animation to finish. And that's not nice. You don't want that, right? Obviously. You try to move the player, and then you set the update progress to 0, right? Because you don't know, the player's not moving necessarily. Then you set some update functions, you mark the input as handled, and then you have an update after input. And then this thing will unset the recent loop. So recent loop gets set when you try to move out of a loop while you're already in one. This thing gets reset. Anyway, that's pretty much it. And now I'm gonna work on the game. Can you believe that? He's gaming. Anyway, maybe what I'll do next is add some pushable objects. I could consider perhaps adding some things that can be interacted with. You know, games, they love to have things you can interact with. And so what I was thinking is that you could have some crates or like some kind of pushable thing, which is a certain color. So let's say you're pushing like a blue crate. The blue crate, much like this rat, will be affected by the same color loop. So the puzzle is going to be like, okay, you got a blue crate, you got to push it like somewhere, but then if you're in a blue loop area, it'll get looped around. Whereas if it's red, it'll be looped in the red one, right? Anyway, a bunch of stuff, bunch of things. And that's, you know, that's pretty much the idea. I mean, the code is also pretty messy. But as far as like pico-8, I think this is pretty nice. I was like, if I were to do this in Godot, I feel like I would not have... I feel like I'd be spending a lot of time doing stuff that doesn't matter. I don't know how to explain it exactly. I feel like pico-8 is a good use case for games like this that are like, you know, tile-based, and, you know, the graphics don't have to be that complicated. It's like small games, you know? Anyway. Okay, let's draw like some crates. Now, how do you even draw a crate? Well, obviously... it's gotta be square, right? It's a square of some kind. Perhaps there's like a thing over here. I don't really know. What if it's like this? And then you gotta like delete this thing. That's a crate right there. Right, and then you could have actor, you can have a new crate, right? A pushable crate. And then what? And then welcome Chocojazz, Wolfie, creature. So true, so true. It is in fact a creature of some sort. And this one, it's a rat. Got a rat out here. This looks neat, thank you. I don't know what to call it. I was thinking like maybe rat loop rat or something. It's gotta have the word loop in it because, you know, that's the theme of the game. Loop. The rat whom loops. Ratar. Oh, because it's looping? Because, like, the rat is backwards? I don't know. I mean, what if it was just a rat? Rat. Because the rat itself is looping. I don't know. But then that implies that there's multiple rats. There's only one rat. I don't know. Anyway, okay, we're gonna add something. Okay, function new box X, Y, and okay, and then this one, local B, which is the box, is going to be new actor XY, and the frames is going to be which frame is this specifically? Good question. This is frame number 208. All right, so there's the one frame in this box. And then what? And then the color, we set the color here. B.color equals color. Right, so now you have a box that has a color. Return B. Me when the B is being returned. Yo, where did it go? It's back now. So the B is returned. And I think we would want to add perhaps like a pushable thing. There might be actors that are not pushable, perhaps. Not all of them are collidable. Right, so maybe we have some flags. This one equals 0, right? So let's see, actor flags. So we can have flag, actor flag, pushable is 0B. So we're gonna have like a bunch of things here, right? We can use this to check whether it has a flag. This is bit masking or whatever. Classic technique that everyone knows. So then this one, b.flags equals actor flag pushable. So this implies that it's pushable. Actually, we should also have actor flag, what is it, collidable? Solid, if it's a solid object. Right, so this, we're gonna say the box is solid and pushable. Now you might be like, but that's an or. Well, yeah, because, I don't know, that's just how flags work. That's just how things are, you know how it is. Actor flag solid. So it's solid and pushable. Okay. And then you return the thing, right? Simple as that. And now you go to your initial function, right? So you got actors. Add actors new box. Right, now what is the position of the box? Good question, good question. This box is going to be at 6,4, and it's going to be a blue box. Right, so now, oh, look at that, the blue box is there. Whoa, what is that, a blue box? And then you collide with the box. Now I've not implemented collision, so that's going to happen at some point. But I believe first we should draw the actors and then the loops. That's what I think. So now we have blue box. Ideally, if you push into the blue box, it'll loop around to this side. Wait, did I break something? I think I broke something. No, that's fine. It's because we're in, okay, it's because we're in the box. I thought we were not in the box. Maybe the player should be drawn after the actors, because the player usually has priority. If the player is for some reason on top of a box, the player should take priority. Okay, so now that we have a box, we need to detect whether the player has collided with anything, right? It's actually that simple. So you go to the player script. We should also abstract this in such a way that it's not just moving the player. We should also have to try to move like crates. We could reuse a lot of this logic, you know? So let's see. Instead of this thing actually doing the move, I think it should return the position that you would move to. Possibly. Right, so then You could have it return. Now, here's the thing that I wish Lua was good at. Is there a way to have Lua annotate types? Because, like, we can use tables, but I would ideally like to say this returns a table that has these fields. Lua LSP types. Imagine Lua being good at things. There's a way to do it. There's annotations you can do. I've never used them. Documenting types, union types. How do I, like, give it an alias? Alias can be useful when reusing a type. Can also be used to provide an enumeration. Interesting. Welcome, Nutritious. Simple alias. Alias, user ID integer, custom type with descriptions. Alias side. Interesting. Literal custom type with descriptions. I would like for this to have a, like, how do I annotate the type of, oh, define a class. Is this what it is? Define a class? Define a table structure. It can be used as a type for parameters, returns. Class. No, that's not what I want. How do I send? Mark Lua table as an enumeration. Define a table. Oh, this one has, oh, I see. Colors.green. Is that what I want? I feel like this is kind of nice. These are bit flags. Why define class when can hard code? Hard code. I find it quite easy, actually. It's actually quite simple. Welcome, Royal. Simple documentation of class. Class person. Field height. Number. Oh, this is what I want, right? Class. How do I do this? Param person. Class person. Okay, here's what we do. We're gonna have this thing be, there's 3 things, and then class move result, try move result. Alright, and then you gotta have a field. Whoops, what the heck was that? Down with the class system. So true. Field X is a number. Target position. Target X. And then you got field Y. Target Y position. And then another field is going to be loop, which is going to be a loop. Actually, we should define some types here. Okay, so we got a class loop, and then this has a param, which is this stuff here, x0 number. y0 x1 y1 color is a number. Now we should have an enumeration that's a color. Look at this, we got color, could be red, it could be something. Alias, an enumeration. No, this is not what I want. Or maybe it is, maybe I do want this. Main.lua color. Okay, we could have colors. Colors equal blue is 12, red is 8. Alright, and then here enum colors. Colors, I would assume it would be color, but whatever. Blue. Now I know in pico-8 you want to, you know, ideally use fewer tokens. I think it's fine for now. Color.blue, right? Color.blue. Color.red. Or maybe not. Maybe we simply just... No, I think this is good. Why am I even doing this? This is not actually contributing to the game. Typing, you imagine having types. No, this is for future maintainability. And you're like, Wolfie, the game's not even done. Why do you need to maintain it? Bro, that's crazy. That's freaking crazy, bro. Okay, we got color, colors.blue, colors.red, colors.blue. Just make sure that it still works, you know? Because sometimes, yep, it does not work. Main.lua, line 16. Color, oh, it's colors. Color, well, should I just call it color? Because I feel like color makes more sense. Color.blue. Colors. It should just be color. Right. Monolithic D's. Design. Okay, this still works, so it's good. So we have an enumeration that is colors. Right now we have color. We have new loop. This is what I was changing. Okay, so color, instead of being a number, it's actually a color, right? It's a color. Enum color. Right. And then what? And then draw loop. How do I say that it returns something? Return loop. Is that what it? Oh, now we have annotations for things. Draw loop L. So then this thing, param L is a loop. Right? We got a lot of errors here, but that's fine because it says, what does it say? Cannot assign integer to parameter bit field. What are they talking? What are they talking about, man? This is a bit field. Undefined field color. Because loop does not have... It does have a color. Why does it say loop doesn't have a color? Undefined param color. Undefined param. Class loop. Well, let's see here. Class... Define a class. Oh, because this has to be next to something. What if I just want like a type? Just a type that has no real thing, right? What if there's like no real thing? Okay, maybe we're gonna do like actual real Lua programming then. Local loop equals this. Okay, that's fine. And then this thing now returns a loop. No, this is too complicated. There's too much here. Class. Is there like a way to just have like a type, an alias perhaps, an alias that has fields? Can I have literal custom type? Side. Alias side is one of these things. Literal custom type. Wait, is this what I wanted for color? My literal alias, blue or red? Custom type with descriptions. Custom type. Simple alias. Right. There's async functions. That's crazy, dude. Class. Okay, so we have a class here. We have diagnostics. Enumerations. A field within a table should be immediately following a class. Okay, mark field as protected. Typed field. Generic. Okay, whatever. Type local loop is this thing. Right. So now we know that this thing, if I exclude this, does it say I returned the wrong thing? No. Return loop. And then param color must be a color. Okay, this is kind of annoying actually. Kind of a lot of things. I really wish you could just say like this. This is a number, you know? Is that possible? What's the deal with Lua? What are they even doing? So this one must be a loop. Param color must be a color. Find loop param color is color. Param x is the number. Param y is a number, right? Simple. Simple as that. Everyone knows. It's adding quite a bit of noise. It's kind of hard to parse now. There's a lot of stuff going on. That's the price you pay for this, whatever this is. Right, okay, what was I doing? Right, I was going to make a pushable crate. That was the entire point of this. Is I was going to have, alright, a move result. Right. Local try move result is this thing. Okay, and then, okay, so try move player returns a try move result. Right. This should not actually move the player, right? So we're gonna have an out, local out equals this thing. And then you set X here, right? And then at some point here, you will return out. Here you're gonna return x is equal to x, y is equal to y, and then what? And then a loop. This is going to be the loop that you're in. Instead of being a recent loop, you're going to set local loop equals this thing. Wow. This is going to be the loop that you're currently in. And you want to detect if you are currently in a loop and you're trying to leave the loop. Then, well, okay, a loop is actually a loop, right? It's actually a loop. Current, is this going to return the current loop that you're in or the loop that you try to leave? That's a good question. This is going to be the loop that you are in, that the target x target position is in, and we're going to have field did loop. I don't know what to call it. Whether the entity or the actor what do I call this? Is looping, did loop, whether the actor looped around, would have looped around, right? And this one, it should also accept an actor. Now I've not defined actor yet as a type. I probably should. At the moment, it's currently only considering the player. Right, but that's... Oh, you also... Okay, we're handling many things here. Right, this stuff should be... This is related to display properties. You don't really need to be doing that. So instead of this thing, instead of setting this here, instead of p dot recent loop, you just do this here. Loop is going to be the current loop, and then local did loop equals this. All right, or actually, okay, out dot did loop is this. Welcome, Tefit. Nice looking code. I don't think so. I don't think this code looks good at all. But that's fine. Thank you for thinking so, though. Okay, so here here. Okay, what do we do? You do out.x equals x, out.y equals y. We've already set the loop. Is here. Out, so instead of local.loop, it's actually out.loop. And this one is out.loop. Out.loop. Welcome, dog developer. Here for the 2000 line switch statement. So true. So true. That is in fact a thing that exists. And then, okay, and then we return out, right? This is what you get here. Now, and then you have this. And then you got something else here. Something, this was here earlier, but it's no longer going to be here. This is when you actually move. Oh no, because then this thing should also detect whether you are colliding. Okay, so there's got to be like a collision. Try move result. X, Y. It's got to have a field collided with. What do I call it? Solid collision. Is on wall. What do I, is colliding, but it's like is colliding, but with what though? Try move result did collide boolean. Did collide with solid. I don't know. Whether actor collided with solid. I don't know. And then entity, what is it? Entity collide. Entity, is there like a entity? I don't know. The only way to code, put the entire system in a switch statement. The Nintendo Switch? You're telling me the Nintendo Switch is making a statement? That's crazy. Undefined global loop. Oh, shoot. Right, because now it's out.loop. Okay, let's just set loop here. Right, it's simply here. Right. And then I guess here we set out.loop equals loop. We're using a lot of tokens for things that don't matter. Alright, so if it did loop, then you set this stuff. Out.loop equals loop. Right. And then, okay, so this stuff should be if there is a thing there. So then out dot did collide with solid equals this thing. Right. And then what? And then what? And then also should have a thing where you don't need to check whether it has collided with another actor, right? Probably should. Field actor collision. Okay, so we're gonna have a type for actor. We finally are going to need one. Actor is this thing, and then you have how do you do it? Type, what is it? Class, actor. There's gonna be so much stuff here. Actor. Actor, can I say that it can return none? Is that a thing? Nullable? Null? Nil? Mark it as optional? Question mark? Boolean or nil. Okay, so it could be, this could be this thing or nil. Alright, so then this is, whether there is an actor in the way. Right, which actor is in the way? which actor is in the way. Okay. And then, okay, so here you should also check for A in all actors do if A.x equals x and B.x equals x, then out dot, what did I call it? Actor collision equals A. Should probably be more descriptive. Actor look at that refactoring. Whoa, refactoring. And actor dot y equals y. Right, that's why I was confused, because I had A and I thought it must be B, but it's actually, the A was not A and B, the A was for actor. Alright, so then, now what? Now we have this stuff. Try move player returns a try move result. And now you gotta have, where do we actually do try move player? Try move player is here. We're gonna have a local move status, I don't know, something. And then this one is, this is where we set actually move the player. Apply move. And then we have an actor and then what? And then the position. What am I doing here? No, because now this thing has the dx and dy, right? This one. Something. Is this even, does this even make any sense? People are just like, what's he doing? I don't really know what this is. Return out. So then out dot dy. What if I just, we're not setting out anywhere, right? Out is here. Did loop. Okay, let's just do local did loop. Did loop. Okay, so we don't need to find out yet. Out could just be here. Right. You could simply just do this. And then this. Okay. Dx equals dx. dy equals dy. And then now that we have out, you do this thing and then you return out. And then apply move is going to take actor and what specifically? Well, it's going to take the move result. Alright, so now you gotta do param actor is an actor. Param move result is a try move result. Isn't that cool, right? That's in fact a thing. That is some kind of thing here. So then apply move, this one here, if move result dot did collide with solid. Okay, then here you do this thing. Now I believe this should also be set to something else. It should be actor dot move. Move equals nil. Right, this is gonna be the move animation. Right, this thing right here. We got offset, we got target offsets, we got this thing. This thing right here. Let's just call this params. Yo, it also changes the doc comment. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. And then otherwise, if you apply the move, it should set this thing, right? This thing right here. Actor dot whatever equals params.x, params.dx, params.dy. Offset is equal to actor offset, and then actor.move equals move walk. Okay. So finally, we've done all that, and for what? For probably nothing. This probably does nothing. This is going to be, instead of move status, it's going to be params. And then apply move, player, and params. Okay, now we got to check. This is probably broken. It probably does not work. Yep, as expected. Attempt to call global move, right? Because I've defined move as something else. It's going to be player.move. Okay, it appears that everything does not work, actually, because we must set some properties. We got to set some things that I've removed up here. How specifically did I do it? Well, good question. There was actor dot recent loop. There's a recent loop that was set here. Now, where was it specifically? Apply move. Player dot recent loop equals params dot loop, and then this thing would be params.did loop and params loop. Otherwise, it's going to be nil. So now this thing, okay, it doesn't work. It in fact does not work. It should actually be capital player because it's a global. Something's broken here. Did loop. When do we set did loop? It's there. We're not actually setting did loop. Did you notice that? Did you even notice that? Did loop equals this. Okay. Okay, we fixed it. Okay, so now we've done all that for honestly for nothing. But it'll simplify some things probably, maybe. I don't know. This is already getting pretty messy. That's the issue with writing code, is that code gets messy. Pico-8 check token count tokens. How do you check when you're editing outside? Stats, cart stats. Token optimizations, token tracker, token counting. How do you count tokens? Includes tokens. Maybe there's like a thing here. There's nothing. There's literally nothing. Include file. What's the pico-8 commands? Manual tokens. Info. That's what it is. It's info. Okay, that's not that many. It's less than 1,000 tokens. That's fine. Okay. Okay, so now that we have the detection, we gotta check whether there's something there. Right. So at the moment we're not actually setting actor collision. So here, oh no, we do set actor collision. Do we actually have it? Print actor. Oh, this is not going to print anything because it's not actually... Is there a way in pico-8 to crash the game? Pico... I want to print something and crash the game. Print and exit. Print. I could probably pico-8 exception. I always said an exception. Assert. Is there an assert? Assert. Okay. Assert false actor. I just want to make sure that this is being called. So if we collide with this thing, okay, that's good. It's good. We have actor collision. Okay, so then params. If params dot params dot actor collision and params dot actor collision dot flags, right? Actor collision is a, what does this say? It's an actor or nil, but we know it's an actor because we did this thing here. Well, because we did not set this thing. How do you set flags? Is there like a thing here where you could set flags? Bit flags? Maybe not. Alright, so we got an actor, we have a param, was it field flags? I guess let's just say it's a number for now. Okay, so we have flags. Flags is a number. If actor collision flags, or actually, can you pico-8 bit flags? Is there any built-in thing for bit field manipulation? Welcome, Hamflow. A number for now. Someday a letter. So true. They do in fact be doing that. Bitwise operations. Band. Bitwise and. Okay, that's okay, okay. So params, actors, banned. They got banned. You're telling me they got banned for this. And then you got flag pushable. Right? If it is pushable, then you should try to push it. Right? Let's see. This is kind of complicated. Try move player. Actor collision in band. Okay, and then you gotta, okay, so we gotta adjust the try move player. Well, actually, hold on. For now, let's just say, apply move should actually be, what are we trying to do here? Params did collide with solid. Okay. So we should just set this here. Right. So this thing at the moment should just make us okay. So now we cannot collide with the box. That's good. That's what we expected. You know, now the box is here. Okay, so now that we have that, we can comment this out, and then we could try to apply. I should commit this first of all. Let's commit this. Is this the wrong directory? Oh, okay. This should be actually in this directory. Add box collision. Add box with collision. Alright. So, we should update try move player to try move actor. And then update this P to be actor instead. And then actor is passed in as a parameter. Param actor is an actor. Param dx is a number. And dy is also a number. Alright, so instead of this, it's going to be try move actor player. Now this should still work. Yep, it does still work. Can you believe that it still works? Okay, try move actor. So in here, if you collide with something that is pushable, you should do try move actor params dot actor collision. And then it should move in the same direction that the player tried moving in. So params dot ex params dot dy. Local push params equals this thing. Now, if push params did collide with solid, or push params dot actor collision, then that means the box is not pushable. Otherwise you can apply movement to the box. So you can do try move, what's it called? Apply move. Params. Apply move params dot actor collision. Push params. Okay, so now this means the thing should move. You must also set the recent loop though. So let's see, player.recent loop. This is going to be params.actorCollision.recent loop equals push params did loop and push params.loop. And then you apply move. Right. And then what? Good question. Now we should see the box is not being pushed, although it should be. Now why is it not being pushed? That's a good question. I just don't know. We simply just don't know. Params.actorCollision. Okay, I'm just talking at the moment. You know, everyone's like, he's just saying things. What is he even talking about? Push params. Try move actor params actor collision. You would like to move things. So then if it did collide with a solid or another actor, then this thing. And then don't move it because it's not there. Now this one though, false. Hello. I would like for this thing to print something. Okay, so it did print something, which means that this thing is movable. The question is, why did this thing not move? Apply move, actor collision, push params. Push params. Recent loop. Okay, so where is this being set? Apply move. If it did collide with solid, then you do this. Oh, because we don't actually apply. Okay. Update after input. So then it should be player and also for actor in all actors. Do. Actor must also move. Right. Attempt to call field move. Okay. We must also set move. Who is param? No, you're thinking of param. I said param. It's a totally different thing. But I could see the confusion here. You can understand. So apply move. Okay, so this thing, if it does have a move, actor.move and actor move. Okay, so now, nope, okay, that's wrong. Syntax error near and. On line 134, actor.move and actor.move. Why is that wrong? Syntax error near and. Well, this should be if this thing is defined, right? Fine, I guess I'll just do this. Welcome hometown. Lua isn't a thing. You have to use if and then. You generate an R value. Oh, that's what it is. Man, fine. Then actor move. Okay. If actor move, then actor move. Okay, so we should be able to, did not push. I was hoping that we could push the crate. The crate did not push. Why is that specifically? Good question, good question. Apply move. Apply move. Push params. Welcome Deep Freeze. How is the game jam going? It's going. It is happening. I will probably have to refactor the entire thing because I'm finding this hard to work with. But that's fine. You know, that's what software development is. Apply move. Actor params. Actor offset params. Glad you found a theme. Everyone found a theme. It's built into the game jam. It is built into every game jam. Yes, it's in pico-8. I've changed it to be a block pushing game. Wait a second. That crate is being pushed, but in the wrong way. What the heck? Why is it doing that? Anyway, this is the game though. Look at this. We got colors. You can loop within the same color. If you're in the wrong color, it does not loop. I did a bit of refactoring for my sub engine, but not enough. That's crazy. Had 2 horrible sleep days and probably not getting anything done. So true. Actually, so true though. Forgot to -1 the direction you were pushing. Apply move. Direction that I was pushing. Cute sprite, it's a rat. Oh shoot, it's a rat. Why is this not moving? It moves sometimes, but it's like moving in the wrong way. The actor pushes back at you. No, because like I think we're applying the same thing here. Actor collision, push params. What if, what are we doing differently here? Yours is looking good so far. Wish I could say the same. Man, that's, you know, that's what I had with my previous game jam that I failed to do. Is that I just didn't do it. Wait, it's moving in the same, it's the same, what's happening? Are they in the same spot now? Is the crate on the same block as me? I don't understand. Okay. Okay, hold on. Apply move. Where I'm setting the X here. If actor X equals X and actor Y equals Y, then collision is actor. Did loop, did collide with solid. Did I keep any references to the player here? Actor.flip. This stuff should not be here. But that's fine for now. It's an unholy mess. A lot of it is copy pasted from my previous projects. I feel like probably what most people that are experienced at game jams do is probably just that. They just they have pre-made projects that they're like, oh, I remember when I worked on this thing. I did a similar thing. Let me just copy that. I unfortunately don't have too much of that because I've only worked on one game. But you know, even when I did that, I did copy some graphics. I remember we copied the good old walking sprite from the previous game. This stuff. That's what most of software development is. Even at work, I'm just like, when I work on something, I just think, oh right, I worked on like another thing that had this thing. And then I just copy paste it. It's good. Where did I set this? Apply move, params. Oh, this should be, no, this should be push params that after collision. Wait, no, that's not true. Actually, that's not true. I thought it was true. It's actually not true. We are applying the move to the thing that the player collided with. I should rename this. They should be player params. Oh, now the lines are so long. What the heck? Alright, let's not do that. So if the actor collision did collide with something, apply move, params actor collision did collide with solid. I should be closing Godot because I'm not using Godot. Okay, so we got params, offset X, offset Y. We should, let's put an assert here. Just to check that we're hitting this branch. Why are we hitting this branch always? Oh, because this should only be if the actor is the box. Oh man. Okay, this is gonna be kind of complicated actually. Let's not do that. I should have a debug print. Let's have a function debug. We're gonna have debug messages is this thing. And we're gonna do debug messages dot add debug messages message. Okay, and then at the end of draw, for message in all debug messages, do print message and then clear. How do you clear a thing in Lua? Pico-8 clear table. Tables. Delete all entries from a table. Is that a thing? Germans, when they see an insect, debug. So true. You would just assign a new one. Man, there's gotta be something, right? Del deletes a single value. Okay, I guess I'll just delete the whole thing then. Invalidates references. True. Okay, so the reason I added that is because I wanted to be able to debug print something. So we got debug. What am I doing? What am I doing here? This would only print it for one frame though. What am I doing? Well, what is bro doing? See, this is why you want to open up pico-8 in your console. How do I... Pico? No, that's Pico, that's a different thing. Okay, how do I open this? Where even is this? Is there a way in Windows to find out where this executable is? Oh, properties? Okay, I could just do this then. Oh no, how do I do this in... How do I how do I open, okay, I can just open it in another PowerShell instance. Here, we're gonna close this one. We're gonna go here. We gotta go, backslash, is that a thing? Backslash program files. How do I open this? Quotes? It's not opening, excuse me. Windows open pico-8 in terminal. I just want to see the logs. Because the thing is, if you open pico-8 not from a terminal, you can't do print h, because then the output gets shown nowhere. How do I open this here on Windows? Where? How do I open it? Where is it? See, if I was coding this on my regular setup, this would not be an issue, because I would simply just have it. Windows open exe in PowerShell. How do you run an executable? And is the and required? No, that, oh, the and, okay, so the and maybe is required. Okay, okay, that's strange. Why would they do that? All right. So now we can use print h. I don't need this debug messages thing anymore. All right, so let's see. Let's see here. Player. So we do print h. Push param. Now pico-8 doesn't have a built-in thing to debug tables. I'm gonna have to copy something. Print table. There's like a helper function somewhere to print out everything in a table. To print tables, convert table, you can do function to stir. Is that a thing? Serializing has many problems. I just want like a simple debug. Does this work on tables? Passing in a string, okay, passing in table. Tables return table. Okay, that kind of sucks. But how do I print the actual table? Pico-8 debug table. Please print hpq. What is pq? pq better print h. Print h is a bit annoying. I built a replacement called pq. It prints, yeah, this is okay. It prints table, it crashes if x is nil. Right. Let's copy this thing. We got a ph function. Print h. pq. Quote all args and print to host console. Quote all arguments into a string. Quote. All right. Debug.lua. Okay. And then what? And then, hold on. You gotta go to the GMTK folder. You gotta load up GMTK. You gotta go here, include debug. Okay, now we should have access to PQ. Where was this handled again? Was it here? No, it was in the other file. Player.lua. Alright, PQ, params. Push params. Okay, so this thing should show something when you push this thing here. Did collide with solid is false. Did loop equals true? Loop equals this thing. X equals 6, 4, dx dy, x, y, and x is 4. What is this? What was I hoping to accomplish with this? I forget. You want to push it. And this is the position that it's going to be at. It's going to be at x equals 4 and y equals 4. Now, is that true? The box was here. Let me make this easier. We'll start off here. So this right now, I should probably have some indicators at the top to show where the actual edge is. But 4, 4 doesn't seem correct to me. If I push this way, let's see. X is 4, Y is 4, X is 5. Which means that it got pushed to the right. I think. Wait, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, no, that's fine. 4, 1, 2, 3. Or maybe this one is 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so y equals 4 is fine. X equals 5, though. Which one of these is 5? This is 1. Okay, they print the coordinates on the bottom there. So let's see. It's at y equals 4. X equals 5. Wait, that's right. Isn't that right? It got pushed to the left, which means it should be here. X equals 5, y equals 4. And it started off here, I believe. Yes. Okay, so the params are right. It's just something else is wrong. Alright, so let's see. Apply move. It takes an actor, it takes params. If it did collide with a solid, then it does this. I should do PQ. Did collide with solid. And then this one did not. This is gonna print for everything though. I'd like to print it for just the box. Wait, what's wrong with this? Offset x. Actor x equals params dot x. Okay, let's go up here. Let's push it. And then did not. So that's expected. It did not collide with a wall. Okay. Actor.x, we should be setting the parameters. It should be set there. Right, so we have PQ X. Okay, so here, whoops. Okay, so we're here. We should then... Okay, that's one of these is wrong. Why is that 6, 4? Shouldn't it be 5, 4? It's moving in the wrong direction. So I think someone was correct, maybe, that it was pushing in the opposite direction. Is that true though? Is that true? dx and dy. So this is set here. And then when we update it, we set params dx and dy here. Try move actor, colliding actor. Let's just make this easier. Local box equals this thing. It's not necessarily a box, but I believe it's easier to visualize. If did push params collide with box, okay, this thing is going to be box, apply move, box. Also, wait, I just realized I'm 30 minutes late to drinking water. That's actually crazy. I'm going to drink water right now. Alright, I've done it. Okay, what's going on here? Why is this wrong? So we got box, we got params. Push params, box. Push params. Let's call this box params. So these are the params for the box. Try move. Box params did collide with solid or box. So it goes here. What if I don't set this? Is this anything? Why can I not collide with this thing? What? What the heck? Wait. What? Excuse me? If box params did collide or box. Was this not or box? What was this one? Box params did collide. If the box collides with something. What did I do here? Oh wait, what? Push params.actor collision. Oh, I didn't set this here. Or box.actor collision. Okay. I should probably just set the player closer so I don't have to walk up every time. Let's set the player to be here. 7, 3. Any other game devs do this? You're testing a scene and then it's like... Wait. No. Wait, oh shoot, wait, it's actually... doing something? Of some kind? Okay, that's really weird. What the heck? I'm gonna assume the box is on the same position as the rat. Where is it? Where is it? Interesting. I probably need to refactor this entire thing. It it already doesn't make sense. Can't be doing that on stream though. What if I just refactor the entire thing on stream? And then by the end of the stream I will have will have accomplished nothing. Absolutely nothing. Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, so we're here. Welcome, Eidolon. Did I welcome Carabelle? I don't think I did. You posted your drinking sip emote, water emote. And I did not even acknowledge it. Okay, apply move. Box params. The box params specifically. 4,4. Okay, hold on. It should push there. So the box moves before the player. So this thing, what am I doing here? Wait, what? It's moving on its own somehow? What? How entertaining can refactoring be? It could be pretty interesting. Did collide with solid is true. But this thing is not. What if I just implemented Godot's collision system in pico-8? But have it be turn-based and also tile-based. What if I just re-implemented Area 2D and I added signals such that detects whether you are in the box on area enter? A roguelite? No, this is it's a sokoban pushing box game with looping. Depending on the color of your character, you loop within this region. Yes. I'm trying to implement box pushing, but for some reason it's not working. Something is very broken here. Don't know what it is. Anyway, one thing I should also do though is like, you'll notice that at the moment when you loop between things, the player kind of just disappears, right? You don't see them actually walk into here and then loop around. As soon as you press left, they just go immediately. They do loop from the other side, but it doesn't show them walking from this way. Which is the same issue with like if you try to collide upward, you can't move up there because there's the wall there. But you don't actually see like the player from here. I think that'd be nice. I could consider doing something like that if I had time. At the moment I don't, though. So I will not be doing that until later. But okay, what am I doing wrong here? Probably many things. There's probably a lot of stuff wrong here. How do I fix it? All right, let's walk through this step by step. If it is pushable, then you try to move the box. The box, you pass in the parameters of the original parameter. You try to move the box in the same direction. Welcome, Diego. Okay, so you try to get the params. It'll then return some things, such as if it collided with something, or if it collided with wait, this should be box params. But I mean, that should not cause the issue though. This should be the same. Wait, is this the same though? this is the same. It's not the same. Otherwise, what if I didn't have this? No. Recent loop. Box params did loop. Apply move. A box. Box params. Update. Is this vanilla NeoVim, or did you put plugins? I have a lot of plugins. It's on GitHub, actually. You can go on GitHub. It's going to be very confusing to you, though, because I use Nix. It's on my NeoVim config. And plugins are set here. They're defined in Nix config rather than Lua, but it's going to be very strange to you. Maybe you'll understand some of it. What is Nix? I cannot explain. There's a lot of stuff to explain. You could look it up though. The type annotation and syntax checking is what's throwing me off the most. Yeah, it's because pico-8 has some. Well, okay, there's a bunch of errors here, and this is probably very confusing, but I learned to just ignore it. Fields cannot be injected into the reference of actor for X. Wait, what does that mean? What did they mean by that? To do so, use the class for actor. Oh, I see. Is class for actor? Isn't actor already a class? It's a class. I don't know. Anyway, I added these things because I thought it would help me understand things, but probably not. What are you trying to inject? Various properties, such as these. All right. We set the offset target. We set the position. Oh, is it because I don't draw? Do I not actually update the... No, I do update it. What am I doing? Update. So then on updates, update equals update after input. And then this goes here. On all actors, we do actor.move. We do player.move. Is actor.move what's messed up here? No, because we set this thing to this. So this should go here. And then move walk. Oh, that's okay, because move walk is setting because it's affecting the player. Okay. That should have been so obvious. Actor. Okay, so replace player with actor. Whoops. Okay, that's what it was. It was actually that simple. It should accept actor as a parameter. Okay. And then what? And then instead of dot move, it's going to be colon move, because that passes the self as the first argument. Okay, wow, that was that easy. It was literally, that was literally, okay, but I broke something else though. Something else is broken. Okay, why is that happening? Why is this happening? Because I don't unset recent loop. Yes, okay. Right, you should also be doing this. Recent loop. It's probably a better way to do this. I'm just gonna do this here for now. Probably a better way to do this. Alright, so this should work. No, it does not work actually. There's something else that's broken. Actor.recent loop. So why is this doing this? Does pico-8 do function hoisting? Lua normally doesn't, so assigning a global is disconcerting. Did I forget to define? I intentionally define a global because it's just more convenient at this point. Later on, I could consider not doing it. A function move being assigned? Yes. That I do assign a move function. Also, welcome Alt Chakar, thank you for the 8 months. This thing gets called is defined beneath. Yeah, but it's fine because this gets called after. Like, it would only be an issue if I call this function before this thing, before the actual, like, this thing exists. But I believe because it's not actually being called, this is not evaluated, and then after this is defined, later on we actually call it, and then at the time that's called, this is already there. Something like that, I don't know. Okay, well, let's see, what else did I do? Right, we gotta figure out why this thing is... It's moving even though we're not pushing it. Now, why is that? Because this would be called here. If there is actor collision, try move actor. So I believe actor collision should not be set, typically. Right, so this thing should return nil, right? It should not be colliding with anything. And then when we press left, it should return the crate. Okay, and then the crate again. As expected. And then if we move down, there should be nil. Okay, so okay, that's expected. For some reason, the crate, the box is being moved. I believe that might just be an animation thing. The crate is in the expected position. I think I just didn't like set something. What did I not set somewhere? I'm probably setting something for the player, but not the other actors. Player.recent loop. Main. What am I doing here? Input. Recent loop. I believe it's the offset. The offset is not being reset somewhere. Okay, in player.lua, actor.offset is this thing. Apply move. Oh, it's because we have move. We don't unset move if there was no collision. Right. Right. It's because the player moves every turn, which is fine. But the other things might not move every turn. And so if there is no collision, then we need to make sure to unset move. But that's going to be kind of annoying. Unless we did it here. But that seems stupid. But it's going to work. It works, but it probably could be better. Okay, and then you can't push... Okay, this is expected. You can't push this thing into a wall. You can loop around. We're red. You push this thing. Wait, why did we... Oh, because we're in the red. Okay. We go here. You can't push this. You can push this one. Okay, so we got something working. But it's very messy. You can delete this stuff. Okay, let's commit this. Add working box push logic. Alright. So we have enough to, I guess, make a puzzle. If we wanted to. You could push crates. And then what? We could, okay, we could consider adding like a button. You know, sokoban games love buttons. You can push a crate onto a button, and that will do something. It's gonna change something, maybe like open a door, maybe I don't know, some sort of thing. And then if you're standing on it, it'll trigger. But then if the crate is on it, then you can go open the door, right? Perhaps. Now, although I could add that right now, I feel like I need to refactor the entire code base because this is a mess. There's too much stuff going on here. I should have just started off using like real classes. You know, the usual meta table thing. You're like something dot meta table equals this thing, and then you gotta like, you know, set properties. Just the fact that everything here is defined like as a global function. It bothers me. Like all this stuff, this sucks. Whatever this is, it's bad. And I could just continue with it, but I feel like it's not going to be good. It's going to actually be bad. So let's delete everything. Let's start a new project. let's delete everything. No, we can't delete everything. Just delete like most of it. Just make like you know, some backups. Maybe. Okay, now that I know what I need though, this is the thing. Because when I started this, I didn't really know what I needed. But first of all, let me also check how many tokens I have. 1,000 tokens, that's fine. That's like nothing. You know, we're not even close to the token limit. Cool. Cool times here. Okay, but what do I really need though? We would like to abstract player and crate. Just the fact that we have separate logic for players and other actors is not great. I believe this pattern is a bit strange as well. I think this is fine though. There's like too much mixing of like animation and like game logic. There should really just be a thing that's like, this is where you are, and then all the animation stuff should be like separate from that. It's kind of like how front-end frameworks work. You just tell it the state of the system, and then there's like side effects or whatever. That just determines how to draw it. It's common, you know, for board games as well. A lot of things out there, you know. What if I just remade this in Puzzle Script? What if I what if I just learned Puzzle Script? No, his Puzzle Script games, although it is nice, it doesn't look as nice, you know. It doesn't have like the movement between tiles. There's other stuff, you know. You just define your levels here, define your rules. What if we had, you know, rules, player, crate, and then like a, I don't know, something, I don't know, I'm not gonna do it. All right, let's restart the whole thing. Let's restart this from scratch. Okay, we're gonna have, I'm gonna move everything into another directory. I know we have Git for this, that I could simply just, you know, delete everything and just, it'll still be in my Git history, but I like having them here just as reference. Okay, so we're gonna start off, I'm gonna go here. What am I doing? What was I doing? Let's comment all this out. All right. And then, oh no, and then what? That can't be deleting everything, right? There's got to be something. There's got to be something we can keep. But then, like, what if I refactor it? And then I'm like, oh, but I should have done it a different way. That's the issue. Maybe, you know, maybe in game jams, you just have to accept that things are not good. You just have to deal with the limitations, perhaps. Alright, how do I want to design it, though? If I were to refactor it, we would have an actor. Actor has various properties, such as position. I should also have a vector too. I think those are good to have. It has an X and a Y. Actually, what if I just define the interfaces here? Let's just have a something interface. All right, so we have vector 2 equals this, right? So we have class vec2. We have field x is a number. Field y is a number. Okay, so this is simply, you know, your position. And then we have class actor is a field position. This is also a confusing thing, though, is that the actor has an X position, Y position, but in some places I'm referring to it as the tile position, right? This is where you are in the world, your tile position. There's like 1, 1, 1, 2, or whatever. But then we have the actual like pixel position, which is like the, you know, you could in the animations, you're like between tiles. So we should have both. The question is, though, I feel like the actor should not concern itself with the inter-tile positions. We're just gonna have tile position. Maybe just tile. Tile is gonna be vector 2. Right, and then we have a color. It's going to be a color enumeration. How do we set that up? Good question, good question. We do this. Actually, there was like another way to do it, right? No, this is probably the cleaner way to do it. We can worry about token count later. So we have an enumeration color. I believe these don't need to be uppercase. So local color, this is an enumeration. And this thing is a color. Now I notice in the documentation here for this one, they do have their enumeration types be lowercase. Is that normal? An enum. An alias can be useful when reusing a type. Can be used to provide an enum. You have the values defined in nullity. What if we just have an alias? There's like an alias literal. My literal aliases offer completion for A. Okay, what if we just have oh, this is fine, right? This is fine. At enum. So this one, they have it lowercase. Is that normal? Is that simply because the built-in types also have that? Maybe. Okay, let's do that then. So it's a color lowercase. So actor has a tile and a color. It also has what does it have? It has frames, it has flip. Now I feel like these things are all animation related. So maybe we have like an animation parameters thing. Color, well, color is animation related, but it's also part of the logic. Draw is also animation related. Recent loop is also, I think, only there for animation. Move is also only for animation. So, okay, so the only logic we really need is the tile and color. Maybe we need like a type as well. Actor type. Alright, so we have player is 0. Or maybe just actor flag. Right, because this one, the fact that it's a box could just be here. Maybe. Sure. Okay, we got player is flag 0. Or maybe 1. Should be 1. So we should have field flags is actor flag. Alright, and then flags include things such as solid, solid indicates that you cannot push on it. And then you have pushable is a thing that can be pushed. So box is going to have pushable. And then you have flag that is like is button or something. Perhaps it is a button. And then we have animation params. We have local actor equals this thing. And then animation params. Animation params. Alright, animation params, we have a field, which is sprite, which is the current sprite. It's going to get a number. This is going to be like the sprite ID, which is this one is going to have sprite ID 2, right? Sprite ID 3. And then it's going to have, actually no, maybe just frames. Frames is a list of frame. Let's have a alias. An alias is a, what do we have? A sprite ID. Sprite ID, perhaps. Alias. Okay, so alias sprite ID is going to be a number. Can I say integer? Is that a thing? Integer? Okay, integer is a thing. Okay, so x is specifically an integer. Not just a number, specifically an integer. And then how do you have like an array of things? List, table, it's a table. Table, an array, value type, and then this thing. So it's going to be a sprite ID array. Okay, and then I should also drink water because it is in fact past 7. Alright. Okay, so animation params. We have, what do we have here? Offset, flags, move, a bunch of other stuff. Let's see. I'm just going to paste this here for reference. Alright, so we're going to have a field that is offset pixels. It's going to be a vector 2. This is going to be based on the actor's current position, how far away this thing should be rendered at. So it's not tile, but it's offset in number of pixels. And then we have, what is offset target for? I already forget. I believe this is like when you start an animation, you tell it where you start and where you end. Target offset is where your current position is. Target is where you want to go. Now, where do I actually set this? It's like something in the animation. Offset target px. In move walk, okay, we set the current thing to offset target px. I see, this is where you want to go. Offset px is your current offset, and offset target is where your destination is. And then we interpolate between that somehow. So we move toward the destination. So we want to have offset here. We're going to have, is there like a better name for this? Offset delta, what did you just call position? That's going to be confusing though. So we have tile. Now position could be interpreted as to be pixel position. And then target position. Maybe just target pause. We have a position and a target position. So this starts off, for example, at 8, and then target position could be at 0. And then as we move each turn, we interpolate between that. Is there a better name for this? Position and target position. Okay. And then we have flip. Flip is going to be a Boolean. We should also document this. Current pixel offset. And this is going to be target pixel offset. Whether sprite should be flipped. And then what? We got these stuff, we got frames, we got flip. Color is already part of actor. Draw. Draw is going to be a function to indicate how to draw this. Is this ever going to be something else though? Are we ever going to have like a separate thing? Welcome games related-ish. Hello. Flag is already part of the actor. Move. I feel like move is kind of a confusing function. Where's the loop? You can check the VOD, but also this is the game. There's the loop. There's colors. You can change your color. You can loop within the color. So if you're blue, you don't loop in the red. If you're red, you loop in the red. You can push crates. They will also loop around. You can change your color to be red and then push the crate. Bunch of stuff, you know. But my code is really messy, so I'm trying to refactor it at the moment. Alright, so we got animation parameters. We have a color. We have a draw function. How do you annotate a function here? A function, fun. Yo, I love fun. Function should take fun. It is in fact pico-8. Okay, so you have a draw function. It's going to be fun param type. How do they have examples of this? Fun parentheses. Fun. Okay, so they take the name of the argument. Draw is going to take a actor. Actor should also have animation params. Alright, so draw function should return nothing. Is there a way for this to return nothing? Void, is there like a void type? Nil perhaps, void. Fun. Anyone having fun right now? Any fun havers? Okay, type fun returns nil. Okay, function to draw the actor. I guess this could be draw params. Draw fun. Recent loop. Now recent loop, I feel like that handling should be done in the draw function. I think actor could have a function that returns the current loop that you're in. Right? That's the thing. Recent loop. What is this? Recent loop. There should be some tracking of whether you were previously in a loop and are currently also in a loop. That's the complicated part though, is that, you know, when I'm drawing this stuff, I need to know whether you were previously in a loop. Because you'll notice if you enter here, it doesn't play the animation as if you entered from the left. So there's some state that you gotta remember. Previously I didn't have that. So if you entered a loop from one of the other sides, the player would disappear and then show up here. Okay, but that's fine. Let's see. Recent loop move. Now, what is the move even used for? It's like the type of move. There may be other parameters I need to set depending on the current state of the actor. Animation state. What if we had like an animation state? We can enumerate all the possible animations, actually. We could have animations that we need. Push against wall. So this one would be like you go, you push into it and then go back. That should be handled. You should have one that's like, just move normally. Is there anything else? Any other animations that we need? At the moment, I think that's it. So if we can handle this in our types, I think that would be good. Animation params, let's have, do they have like, in here, do they have like algebraic data types? is there like a way to do that? It's gotta be, right? Animation params. Let's see. There's gotta be, right? ADT. It's like an enumeration with some fields. Because like the fields, the values that we need for this thing are distinct from this thing. Oh wait, we also need an animation for like move, but like loop. Right, because these are a bit different. In the sense that like, if you're just moving to a nearby tile, you don't need any sort of like weird wrapping behavior. If you're moving from here to here though, you kind of need to render the sprite twice. Assuming we do it correctly, right? At the moment, the character just disappears and shows up on the other side. We would ideally render the player like once on this side, but cut off, and then like here as well. So those are two animations that we need. Move, push against wall, move, looping. So this will have the require rendering twice. Right. We may also want to store the previous tile. Right? Because that'll allow us to calculate this stuff, maybe. Possibly. Or maybe we only, I don't know, maybe it's only needed in some situations. Okay, but how do they do these? How do they do algebraic data types? What if I just search for it? Lua language server ADT. Yes. Wait, I've been here. I've literally been on this page. Okay, so you can do it. Okay, how do you do it though? Lua type annotations, dynamic type annotations. Function that can accept foo or string, that's fine. Toward ADTs. Type annotations permit creation of aliases. This thing reference to a file. File content ref for this thing. But how do we actually do it though? Possible to simulate basic pattern matching with a function like this one. Match test file. Return ref content and on content ref and on or on file ref. I see. So then it takes, if there is content, then it calls this one. Otherwise it calls this one, and then it casts it. That's confusing. Feature request, statically type checking. No. No, dude, no. Man. If only. Okay, what if instead of doing that, we simply have a table, and that table has exactly one key set, and that key is going to be the, the type that it is. This is a common way to express things. If you have, like, you know, push wall, and then you have like whatever parameters are needed for push wall, or it could be move normal, and then whatever parameters are needed for that, and then move looping, and then simply when you're checking, you do state, what is like params, if params dot push wall, then whatever, right? Then you do your animation stuff, and then else if params dot move normal, then do something with params dot move normal, right? And then every frame you simply just set params back to an empty table. Welcome, random Asian guy. Right, that's one way to do it. Is that good enough though? Is that good enough for me? Maybe. Another way to do it would be to have a type, which is the thing, and then params, maybe like data, and then that's your table, and then you do you know, match. Wait, is that, how do you, Lua match statement? How do you do this in Lua? No. Is there a pattern match case? Is there like case match? Case match? Sorry, switch statement. Does Lua have those? Oh, they just use tables for that. Okay. I guess then, wait, then you would, oh, then that would work, because then you could just iterate through for all push wall, move normal, blah blah blah, do for type in this, and then you do params type, and then you get the thing back. And then since you know what this thing is, you know how to deal with it. I guess you would still need if-else things. I guess you could do this. You could have a function pointer. That'd be kind of confusing though. I don't know, I think I'll go with this way. How do you, okay, so you can define animation params. So you have local animation type, and then we have class animation type. We have oh, this should be bump actually. Push against wall is bump. It's when you hit something and then you go backwards. So field bump, field move normal, field move loop. So then exactly one of these should be set. And then we should set the parameters for these ones. Is there a way to define inline types without needing to define a class? Is that a thing? Complex objects, table, key value table, table literal. Okay, we could define a table literal. So bump is going to take a table that has no params. No, move normal. It's going to take a table, and that table has what? What does it have? We just call it move. You know, move. Just regular move, and it's going to have your previous position, previous tile. There's going to be a vector 2. Right, that's all you really need, because you know your current position. And then bump is going to have target tile. Right? So, because you know your current position, you know the tile that you're trying to bump into. Right. And then what? And then move loop is going to have the loop. This is the loop that you're currently in. You're going to have I guess the previous tile would help. But I think we just need like a direction, right? Do we? Because to animate the move loop, you do need to know the previous tile. And then, so you know the previous tile, you know the current tile. You need a direction. Right, so you know to animate whether you're going left or right in the loop. And then what? I think that's it. So we have animation type, we have this stuff. It could be this or it could be no. Right, these are the types. Alright, so we have all of our things set up here. We got player, we got solid, pushable, we got colors. What more could you even want? I probably should have done this from the beginning because it helps you organize things. All right. So we have a vector 2. Let's define some common operations we need on a vector 2. Lua metatables. I have not done Lua metatables in a while. How exactly do you do this? How do you even do this? Let's see, get metatable, set metatable. Metatable methods cheat sheet. Alright, so we want indexing, set metatable, count. Okay, how to define classes in Lua with metatables? Programming with classes. Oh, this is how you do it. Function point create. I see. Or you could set it here. You could set it here. So vector 2 could have, is create the usual way that people do it? Or is it new? Do people use create or new? You gotta know. Whatever. New equals. So function This function returns a vector 2. Usually new, okay, that's good. Return x. It's gonna have new x. Wait, how do you annotate these types with this though? Here. How do people do these? Param. Aliases. Function classes. Now, how do they define functions on these classes? I would like to see how they do this here. Local function higher. Field as private. Okay, I guess you just do this then. I guess I'll just do that. It does use up some tokens. Vec2 new xy. We're gonna have field xy. Those are integers. Field must be defined after the class. What are they talking about? Return x equals x, y equals y. Right, so they have vector 2 new, and then what? We also want actor new. This is going to take a tile, and tile is specifically a vector 2. Return tile equals tile. Color is a color. I feel like color should be before tile. Whatever, it probably doesn't matter. Tile color. Color equals color. And then you have flags and animation. Animation params. Okay, this is gonna be quite annoying. a lot of setup here. What if I did this in Python instead? there is an engine that's very similar to pico-8. It's called Pixel. It's pretty much directly based on pico-8, but it uses Python instead. There's a lot of similarities. They have very similar functions, you know, clear screen, rectangle. They have an update and draw function. They got, this is the init function, circle, show. They have a built-in sprite editor as well. I believe they just call it also just SPR. No, they call it BLT. BLT? That's delicious. Blit. That's the same as Sprite. But anyway. Flags. And then animation. I guess the animation params by default are going to be empty. Flags equals flags. Animation equals... I should probably just call this anim instead of animation, because animation is pretty long. But whatever, that's fine. Alright, so animation frames, animation params. Position 0, target position 0, flip 0, draw function. Okay, maybe we pass in the frames here. And then position equals vector 2 new We should have a vec2 of empty. Or maybe we just do x or 0, y or 0. So if you pass in nothing, it'll be 0. Position is 0, and then what's it called? Target position is also 0. Flip is false. And draw is function to draw the actor. Would this not simply just be the same function every time? Draw actor. Oh no, because then this has to consider the loop. Although I guess this could just be handled as part of... You know, let's not have that. Right, so then actor new. We have function actor draw. In Lua, is there self? Do they implicitly set self? Okay, they do set self. What is this thing about? Create O and then O.parent. Oh, you pass in an object. This is if you want. Oh, you can set the params here rather than passing them in comma delimited. I see. Interesting. What's O.parent though? Is that a thing in in Lua, or is that just a thing? An instance of a class has its parent field pointing to the class, so it inherits all methods. Is that a keyword in Lua? Lua parent script parent keyword. Is that a real thing? Parent? Whenever Lua attempts to access an absent field in a table, it calls fallback function index. If the table has a field called parent with a table value, Lua attempts to access desired field. Oh, I see. That's how you do like inherit and stuff like that. So then if you call a function... So, okay, so you don't need to set meta tables. Is this new? When was this added? I feel like last time I checked this, it did not have this thing. You had to like do meta table stuff. Alright, so if it has parent, then it'll just call it. So if you just have a vector 2, and you call it, it'll call the functions that are there. It'll access the properties. So I guess by default, you could just set this. And then rely on parent to be it would just be this, right? Parent equals vec2. Is that a thing? Is that how you do it? O parent equals self. What? Self? Is that a thing? Is this... So then if x is not there, then it would return 0. Is that real? Lua 5.3. So if you did this, you put this here. Attempt to index, okay, you gotta do vec2 equals this thing. And then you do this. Global vec2, attempt to index a null value Do I not set it to local then? Okay, and then vec2 new. I probably shouldn't have called it x. X equals v dot x. Okay, but it doesn't do that. What I thought this was a thing. Function vec2 new parent equals vec2. And then no. I guess that's a new Lua thing? No, this is 2.4. That's a really old version of Lua. What version? 5? 5.0? 5. Whatever, I don't know. So I guess at the moment, this game jam is just me learning about Lua. That's cool. That's the version of the philosophy manual. It's filled with weird stuff. What? Is this not? How do you normally define like a class? Or do you just not do it? Point is describe function create. How to define? Okay, this is what I usually would expect. Meta tables. These are here. Function class new. Super. Okay, what is super? Super. And then metatable index class dot metatable equals metatable. Properties equal properties. What the heck? Main object with default values uses the thing as underscore index. So this thing is there. Also, welcome Yurga. And then I guess you would, in class new, you would, what if you wanted to have parameters though? What if you, because then you're passing this thing. Oh, that's what I was confused about. When you call class new, because you're calling it on this thing, super is actually this. Oh, I see. Right, because then this one, if you call vec2 new. Wait, is that how it works? How do you pass params to it then? No, because no, super is an object that doesn't make follow existing. What does that mean? No, that doesn't work. Colon syntax is the same as function except the container is passed. Yeah. Like if you do vec2 new, it would be called on this thing. And so the first argument, it would be if you had vec2.new, right? Right. So then class new super would have two parameters, self and super. Okay. So I guess then this thing would be if you wanted to do like vec2 new and then x equals 3, right? That's what this thing is for. Is that I feel like a lot of places they like extend it. How do you do it? There's like a thing that extends something. Okay, well, I mean, okay, sure. But that I don't want that for this thing. But then you would set a meta table, right? There'd be a thing to set a meta table. Class.metatable. And then at some point you return the class. Okay, so then you just set meta table. Is that like a thing? Set meta table. There's a function. Mind if I link a GitHub page? Yeah, feel free. It's gonna be deleted, but I'll see it. The bot's gonna remove links, but I can see the message, so that's fine. Okay. Mobile factory.lua. Alright, meta table. Do something. Where do you call set meta table? Local MT equals this thing, and then set meta table TMT. Okay. So then here I would just set meta table this thing, and then it'd be vec2, right? So if I had other functions defined on vec2, then if I called vec2 :new, I would then have access to those methods. Probably. So if I did this, and then I did this again, I called it with no arguments, so it should then be, this is going to be nil, but then if I had a function vec2, I'll add, let's call it add, return x plus y. Okay, so v equals vec2 new, 1, 2. Attempt to call nil value add. That's a function. Okay, why is that not? Attempt to call nil value method add. Is that not how it works? So I set the meta table to be this thing. And vec2, I believe, does have dot add. But then if I call this thing, it doesn't. Set meta table. Oh, you get a, okay, you gotta set underscore index. That's what I was missing. Okay. It's confusing. Underscore index, right? You set this thing equal. Is that even is this even possible to refer to yourself? Probably not. Okay, and then you do you do this thing, and then you do this thing, and then you do this. It doesn't work. Okay, I guess I'll just do it this way then. So you do MT equals this thing, and then MT is where you define all the methods you need, right? No, you just define index. And then what is MF? MF is what is that? It's the class. Oh, okay, yeah, this is, oh, I see. It's like, wouldn't this, I guess because this thing is being defined in the same thing, it doesn't work. I would need to do vec2, wait, the meta table index. It would be underscore index equals vec2. Right, this is what it would be, right? New table has a meta table attached, which indexes, yeah. So then this thing, it would be this then. So then if I do this, oh, it's got to be local, it's got to be self.x, right? Right, because it's already part of it. Okay, self.x, self.y. Okay, and then now it should work. Okay. Dang. Alright, I get it now. That makes sense. Okay, so then what? What does that mean for me? Now, would this work if I just did... If I passed in nothing, would it use the default? If I did vec2 new 1? Okay, so then it refers, if there's no x defined, or if x is nil, it'll get it from the default. I see. Interesting. Okay, I think I understand now. I might need like a helper function because I'm going to be calling this a lot. Function set mt. It's going to be a table and class. Return set meta table and underscore index and class. Right. Okay. And then you could just do set mt vec2. Okay. Now, does this work? Vec2 new. Okay, I see. Well, I've learned some things today. That's good, right? That's a good thing. That's pretty cool. All right. Also, I feel like I'm using underscores here, although I feel like in pico-8, sorry, in Lua you usually use camel case. But I believe because pico-8 is weird in that its editor is like this, and if you try to uppercase things it makes weird symbols. I think I would be using underscore, but actually this stuff is not visible in the editor, so I could just use the usual, you know, usual style. Right, we got previous tile, we got color, we got animation. This is probably going to use up so many tokens. That's the issue with pico-8. Is that tokens matter. All right, so we got set mt is a table and a class, and this thing return vec2. Okay, actor new returns a new actor. Right. Return set mt. I should probably have it as the first argument. No, actually, no, it's fine. Set mt actor. Or actually, no, it does make sense for it to be first. Class table. Right. Actor is here. And then you do this. Okay, we got tile, we got color, animation. Target position is new. Flip is false. And we gotta have the animation type. So animation type is going to be empty for now. Sure. Okay, so we have actor new, title, color, flags, frames. Is there a way where I can specify this? We could pass in an object and then override that object. It does appear that a lot of places do in fact do that. I've got too many tabs open. Let's see. Here. Where did I find that other example? This one? Is this the thing that I was looking at? I was looking at this. Okay, so they pass in super here, and then super, you set the meta table, you set this stuff, class. Dot meta table. Is this just like a convention? They don't actually... You actually have to call set meta table to actually set it. My MT equals this. Yes, okay. Cool. Anyway, I do need to end my stream. I've accomplished very little today, but that's fine. No, actually I accomplished some stuff. A special kind of damage. It's very weird. I mean, I did some things today, but I feel like I definitely need to go through with this refactor for it to like actually be nice to use. But you know, we did something. We got pushable crates. We got really messy animations. But I'll figure it out off stream. I will also probably be streaming this tomorrow. And that's going to be a long stream, so, you know, 5 hours of me just like doing this. This is too much. That's too many hours. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, so this is good. Cool, let me just make sure that the files have synchronized to my computer. There's nothing here. Interface.lua. Is this up to date? Yes. It is. Okay. Well, that's going to be it. Welcome, DX Nomad, and goodbye. Good times today. We've done some things, and now it's time to leave. Glad to have someone in here that knows Lua, though, because otherwise I would have been like, I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. National Girlfriend Day. Spider-Man Day. Colorado Day. What the? A bunch of days. A lot of days today, huh? Water Balloon Day. Play Ball Day. Oh, Play Ball Day. Play Ball Day. World Wide Web Day. That's a good one. World Wide Web Day. I don't know if anyone's even around to post a raid message. Spider-Man Day, Bram Pie Day. Let's do that one. World Wide Web Day raid. You could do this one. I don't know if anyone who's here is even subscribed and has the emote, but whatever. Alright, who is streaming that I can raid? Taking a look at the twitch.tv. Okay, what about software and game development? Is anyone that I'm following also doing this game jam? Probably not. But there are other people. If I simply search GMTK, we have some people that are streaming. There's me, there's Wolfes, there's this guy, there's another guy, another person. Okay, there's like 5 people that have GMTK in their title. Okay, what's this guy doing? This person is not a VTuber, but I'm going to raid them anyway because I don't know. Because it's, you know, sometimes you don't have to raid only VTubers. /raid. This person is also working on GMTK Game Jam. They're using Godot, which I was using before I gave up and used pico-8 instead. But that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna be back tomorrow with more of this. And hopefully I can figure something out off stream. I'm hoping to be able to do this refactor and then have some code that's usable and good to write, and then later I'll probably be like, oh shoot, I didn't consider this thing, and then I'm gonna have to like refactor it again. Yeah, that's game development. Software in general. You write a program and then you go, oh, this would be so much nicer if it was like this, and then you make it like that and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't think about this then. Oh shoot guys, I didn't even consider that it could be this. Yep, that's it. It's good times out here. Anyway, hope you're all having a good Friday. It is August. It is the first day of August after all. Depending on where you're from. It might be the second day, you know, if it's past midnight. Anyway, the raid's gonna go. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.